This is an audiobook for fanfiction named Journey of Void Survivor by yours truly, Iekami-sama _1126. This is their Chapter 5, first meeting, of this book. Synopsis. If you are looking for a story with background, character building, adventures, action, comedy, romance, and kingdom building, then this fanfic is your cup of tea. The MC is a poor man who is swept up by the omni-level being's antics and thrown into the void due to the being's carelessness. In the void, he spent an uncountable amount of time before his soul is recovered by the higher being. Being granted all of his wishes by the being, Evan, our MC is now on a journey filled with adventure, comedy, and romance as he is indirectly pressured by the higher being to create a large family, deciding to enjoy it fully as he can. Tag alongside him on his journey. Let's continue the story. Chapter 5, First Meeting. So, that was what transpired, I said to myself, not knowing whether to be happy on knowing that my girlfriend, who turned out to be an omni-level being, decided to teleport me into one of my favorite fictional worlds with all of the wishes I dreamed of, allowing me to fulfill my dream of having a harem of all of my favorite fictions, or be angry that she did all this without directly asking me. But if I recall correctly, she did indirectly ask me. I remember her asking me, "What would be your reaction if I were to send you into one of your favorite fictional worlds with all your dream wishes?" And I answered truthfully, that I will never be angry with her if that happens. Instead, I will be very happy and make love to her for a week straight. Chuckle. I remember her pale face when I said the last part. But what to do now? I then started thinking of my future goals in this world and any other world that I will be going to after this one. Okay, I have decided I will fulfill Akasha's wish and have a harem for myself, and my second goal is to find out how I ended up in the void in the first place. That's good, but how to get out of here? I started thinking of a way to get out of my dream. What if I sleep in a dream? Weird, but might be too effective. Let's give it a try. Deciding, I tried to sleep, and then as I fell asleep, I heard Raphael's voice, calling for me. "Up, Master, wake up, attack incoming." I opened my eyes hearing Raphael's alarming voice, warning me about an incoming attack. Slightly opening my groggy eyes, I caught a glimpse of something coming at my face. Emergency detected. Taking control over the master's body. Successful. Whoa! I exclaimed as my body moved automatically, rolling off the futon I was sleeping on just in time. A second later a Bokken strike landed on it, creating a dull sound and making it evident how much force was behind that attack. Sweat poured down my forehead, thinking about what would happen if it landed on me. Gulp. I gulped my saliva in fear just thinking about it. Thank Raphael. You are welcome, Master. I thanked Raphael as I felt myself regaining control over my body. I then followed the blade of the Bokken to its hilt where two feminine hands were holding it. Following them too, my eyes landed on a female face with refined features, cherry-colored lips resting a few centimeters below two ocean blue eyes. Her shiny thigh-length straight purple hair that has a triangular fringe at the front which barely touches the ridge of her nose. A girl wearing a Fujimi high school uniform. Taking note of these features, I understand the identity of the beauty standing in front of me, whom I would have been eager to talk to any time but not now, as she is looking at me with narrowed eyes that promise me that if I move even a finger, the consequences will be too heavy to bear. Who are you and what are you doing here? The beauty I identify as Seko Buzujima asked me. Standing up straight from my previous crouching position, I raised my hands in the air, showing my willingness to follow her order for now. Don't you know, asking others their name before introducing oneself is bad manners? I questioned, fully prepared for any retaliation from her, which didn't come as Seko was sizing me up with me doing the same. So, taking the advantage of my parallel processing skill, I also asked Raphael a question at the same time. Hey, Raphael, what are my chances of winning in a sword fight against her? 50% with only your status. If I use my knowledge of swordsmanship? I asked back internally, as outwardly I registered the layout of the kendo hall. 100% if you fight barehanded while avoiding her attacks based on your knowledge of swordsmanship. 150% if you use a Bokken too. and 200% with reinforcement. Good, but let's keep the last one as my trump card. With that, I ended my chat with Raphael on hearing Seko saying, "Seko Buzujima from Class 3A, Captain of Kendo Club, and this is Kendo Hall, my territory. Now it's your turn." Seko, it's a cute name if you ask me. As for me, my name is Evan Starling. Just call me Evan, I said calmly while being happy inwardly at the fact that even after spending unimaginable time in the void my communication skills haven't deteriorated even a bit. "What were you doing here?" "Now that's a tough question you are asking there, Seko," I said after I sighed as a sad expression appeared on my face. "Do you want to know?" I tried to show that I don't want to talk about that so I make Seko more curious. "Yes," I exclaimed and sat down on the floor. "Okay, then don't complain later as it is going to be a long story." "Go on, I have time," Seko said, retreating her bokken from the futon, but her muscles are still tense, showing that she is still ready to counterattack any sudden attack from me, not like I will do any. To start with, one day I woke up in a dark place. I was in a dark place, which made me panic, and the fact that I couldn't feel anything around me added to my already panicking mind. I don't know how much time it took me to calm down, but I calmed down. And then I tried to recall how I ended up in that place, only to find that I don't have any memories about my past except memories of some games, movies, music, science and other stuff like common sense. But nothing related to my past self. And how did I end up in that place? Following that I waited for something to happen to me, thinking that all this is just a bad dream I am having. So, I waited and waited for a long time. I don't know, after an unimaginable amount of time when my consciousness was about to collapse on itself, I finally had a hope of light, and in the next second, I came out of that dark place. Then I met with a being that called himself a god who chose me for something she didn't clarify. She told me that she will be sending me on a journey to test me. Then she gave me some power and threw me into a portal that left me a little away from here. But before throwing me in the portal she told me that the place I will appear on will be attacked by the undead 13 hours later after my arrival, as it is destined to. And my first test is to survive in this world until the next notice from her. Arriving in this world and knowing that a bleak future that waits for me, I decided to gather some supplies for the future, after which I searched for a place to spend the night. It was then that I stumbled upon this school. Entering it by jumping off the wall, I entered the building and fall asleep on the futon I brought with myself. I finished telling Seko a modified version of what happened with myself, 50% of which is true and the other half a lie. As a story with 50% truth and 50% lie is the best way to make someone believe you, or it is what an MC said in a fanfic that I remember. "What do you think?" I asked her from the floor on which I am currently lying. "Not convinced. But there is a way you can convince me," she said, looking into my eyes. "And what that might be?" I asked her while changing my posture to sitting. "The way is," she started with a calm voice as she raised her bokken, then with a short burst of speed that she used to cover the distance between us, she swung her bokken at me while saying, "Defeat me in a fight. Ha ha." The end. Thank you for listening. Like, share this video and subscribe the channel for notification alert for the continuation of this audiobook series.